It was only a matter of time before someone came along and said, you know what if we had a Pokemon game of guns? Well, not only did the developer Pocket Pair create a game that delivers that vision, but far exceeds what it set out to do by creating an open world, cooperative, monster catching game that has in-depth survival mechanics, but also a compelling gameplay loop of catching new pals and tackling bigger and badder boss encounters. What's up everyone, this is Regret&ReverieGaming coming back to you for one of the top trending games on Steam right now, Palworld. This game has been blowing up on my YouTube feed and it seems like everyone's talking about this early access game preview experience, saying that's supposed to be a Pokemon killer. After spending my weekend playing it off and on and getting good grips on the mechanics, I think I have to agree with the community that this might be the death of Pokemon. If this is your first time on my channel, give this a thumbs up and subscribe below if you want to see more content like this. Having that said, let's jump into what makes this monster catching game so special. When you start up the game and thrown into the main menu, you're able to select your difficulty setting, name your character, and customize your experience the way you want. If you want to be the buff troglodyte in the world of Palworld, you're able to do so, and if you want to be Paper Mario, that is also an option. It's crazy that we are 5 minutes into the game and already have more customization options than we have ever had in any Pokemon entry. Once loaded into the main world, the developers throw you to the wolves and just throw some text on the top right corner telling you what you should do to progress. This is such a refreshing way to start a game because there are too many titles nowadays that just hold your hand for the first hour or so and bore the player right off the bat. There's no story established other than a random NPC stating that you should probably make some tools and get to work. That will lead you to what I feel like is the main point of the game, which is the base building. Palworld is very similar to Ark Survival in this way, as you collect the nearby resources in your area and start to make a stronghold to house your pals and the resources that you have collected. They could then be used to further upgrade your character with shields, outfits, and the main selling point of the game, the weapons. I've not been able to get to the point where I'm running around with firearms, but I'm currently playing a knockoff version of Horizon Zero Dawn with my bow and arrow. I am so excited to get to the point where I'm mowing down invaders from my base with a minigun and riding my dinosaur carrying a Super Dreadnought Gustav Rail Cannon Max from Yu-Gi-Oh! Attached to his back. I'm hoping it's not 20 hours in though. Anywho, running around my base trying to manage my time was proving very difficult between chopping down trees, cooking food to manage my starvation levels, and just trying to upgrade my gear. This is when I started to see how a monster catching game can be implemented into the survival aspects, because I started catching all the little helpers that I could find. You have the chickens, you have the lambs, you have the emo guy, you have, totally original ideas that totally were not created by AI trying to mimic Pokemon. Anyways though, I have to say that the catching mechanics is kind of what Pokemon Legends Arceus should have played like. So seamless, going up to the pals and poking them with a spear, and then whittling down their health to the point they have a higher percentage to catch them. Once caught, you can then decide if they're going to be in your party or a worker at your base, which is determined by the skills that they possess and what variety of tasks that they can complete in your base. There is a huge variety of pals at the launch of this game, and a good amount of typings as well to keep the combat interesting. This is very impressive given the fact that this is still in early access state, and they are probably going to be adding more pals in the future. Honestly, Game Freak should look at this game and take notes of what future installments should look like for the Pokemon series. We haven't even talked about the main sticking point that most people complain about in Pokemon titles, and that is the graphics and performance. This game is definitely not perfect in regards to the looks and the performance, but it is leaps and bounds better than what we have seen in any other monster catching game. Except Temtem, that one is perfect. The game looks very clean and definitely has the generic Unreal Engine look, but the character design of the pals is very cutesy and when it needs to be, intimidating. Sometimes the Jenga of the game is very distracting and can detract from the overall enjoyment of playing, but the game has so many factors and systems in place that it's hard to put the game down once you pick it up. One of the best things I have seen so far is the fact that you can go into timed boss battles and take on giant versions of pals and try to take them down for their resources. So far, my first attempt was unsuccessful, so it is back to the drawing board for me to see how I can better survive and output more damage. There is also random raid attacks that can occur when you have to defend your base if you want your structures to still be standing by the time the raid is over. The more and more I play this game, the more layers I pull back and discover how much more there truly is to do in the game. I want to complete my pal decks, collect every pal in a region. I want to create the most optimized base and achieve a perfect living situation for my pals and be effective in resource management. And I want to conquer every raid and boss encounter there are in the world. To end the video, it is really sad that I'm saying this, but this is what Pokemon should have always been like going to the new console generation. Legends Arceus had it close, but adding a base building aspect to the game on top of the proper boss battles make this feel like a fleshed out experience rather than an unfinished game. And that is the best part about Palworld. It is expected to be getting updates further down the line, and at some point probably in the next year or so, all the bugs and jank that currently is present in the game will be smoothed out. I really do hope that Game Freak sees the reception that Palworld is getting and realizes that they could do a similar thing with Pokemon. There's nothing I want more than have a fully fleshed out experience with the creatures we have all come to know and love. Until that day comes, well, it looks like I'll be playing Palworld for 100 or more hours until I fully complete this game. Even then, I will probably replay it with my friends again and again. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm also in a heavy metal band. If you're a fan of Bad Omens or Motionless in White, check out my band CZYK that should be appearing on screen now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.